How you doing? Good evening. So we're going to get right into it. We're not going to waste any of our time. Let me just know if you can hear me. Just say hello. Good evening. Can you hear me? Say yes or something so that I'll know that yes, everyone can hear me loud and clear and I'm not speaking to myself alone. Okay, great. Hello. So guys, I'm going to be reading, then it's going to be a Q&A kind of thing. We're talking about the latest immigration updates in the UK. There are lots of questions in my comment section. I couldn't answer everything. So I thought to do this live session so that people can then, ask their questions and then we can just roll it together from there. So the first thing I plan doing today, is to just read it direct first. So the Home Office has announced some important dates, right? And the first is that reform to restrict care workers from bringing family members to the UK will come into force March 11. So a lot of people have been asking me questions. Now is the time for you to drop your questions. Like, what do you want to know about this? So I will start with the questions that I got under the comment section when I made the post on Instagram, right? So let's just deal with that. Let's deal with the questions quickly as possible. Then please, if you have any questions, okay, I will start with those ones that are live here as well. Someone said, does this rule apply to post-study visa next year? They've not said anything about post-study work visa, so nothing is going to happen, hopefully, by the grace of God. I don't think they're going to come for post-study work visa because it doesn't make any sense. The UK has two major selling points. One, the fact that they allow dependents, and two, because they have post-study work visa. That is why people are paying millions to come and study in the UK. It's not cheap, by the way. So if they're going to restrict or stop post-study work visa, they can as well kiss international student goodbye because nobody is going to apply. I mean, you have high salary threshold for skilled worker visa, so the post-study is the only thing that makes sense today. So I don't think anything has been said with regards to that. Okay, my question is, will this new law be affecting those already in the UK and are looking to get COS after March 11? Unfortunately, guys, yes. And this is because before this new law came in, there has already been like a MAC committee report that the UK government already published, and also like a fact sheet as well. And part of the fact, let me see if I can lay my hands on the fact sheet. One of the things they stated is that if you're already in the UK on an existing visa and you plan on switching to health and care visa, you will no longer be able to bring in dependents. It is only if you're on an health and care visa before, then you can switch and your dependent can switch. You can change your employer and things like that. So if you're in the UK and you're still looking for COS, if you get your COS after March 11 and you have dependents before, sorry, you will no longer be able to switch with them. Unfortunately, I know how sad this rule is, but I mean, that is what the rule says as of today. That's what the law is as of today. Yes, exactly. So you are no longer able to switch to health and care visa. So the rule is that if you're on an existing valid visa that allows dependents, if you're now switching to a care visa from March 11, you can no longer have dependent. It is only if you are now on another kind of skilled worker visa, maybe you're an accountant, you're a data analyst and you got sponsorship, then you can stay with your dependent. But as long as it's health and care, you cannot. If you're a nurse, you can stay. It's only health and care visa that they've restricted from bringing in dependent. Is it true that there's no more COS? No, they're still issuing COS, but there's a huge delay, guys. Like, huge, massive delay in the issuance of COS. Now, it's taking longer. I know people in my Telegram group that have been waiting for 3 months, some 4 months, like as high as 4 months, guys. People have been waiting. They're still issuing it, but it's just like a very slow process now. Very, very slow. What about employing teachers? Yes, you can still come in as a teacher with sponsorship and you can come with your family if you get a job. Can couples combine their salary to meet the salary threshold and bring their children? I don't think so. Because it is not the couple that will get the sponsorship. Sponsorship is being given to one person. So if it is one party that is securing that skilled worker visa to meet the new salary threshold, in fact, they won't even give you, they won't even give you the sponsorship unless you are having that new salary threshold. But if you, another good thing to mention, guys, is the fact that if you're already here, the salary threshold does not apply to you. Like, it doesn't work for you at all, because if you're already here on a skilled worker visa, let me explain very well. If you're already here and you have a skilled worker visa and you're earning less than the new salary threshold, then you're fine. It is only when you now want to switch to another employer that you need to meet the new salary threshold. But if you're already here and you're on a skilled worker visa, then you're fine. Another thing that I found that a lot of people confuse is health and care visa is a kind of skilled workers visa, but it is different. The SOC code is different. A lot of people always mix it, like when they say skilled worker visa salary threshold would increase, it does not include health and care visa, because they sort of like, they're on the shortage occupation list, they sort of like waive them. So you don't need to earn as high as 30,000 plus as a carer to be able to get sponsorship in the UK. Can I join my husband? He went to school last year, September. So if your husband's student visa is still very valid, you can join him. But if it's no longer valid, you can't join him. If your husband has moved to post-study work visa, you cannot join him. But if your husband has moved to like care visa before March 11, then you can still join him. So guys, just keep dropping the questions. I'll just be answering it as much as I can, guys, like as much as possible. Yes, my question is this: will this new law be affecting those already in the UK and are looking to get COS after March? Yes, it's going to be affecting those already in the UK. One of my friends passed the biometric, but he didn't get the ARC card. How can he get it from the Home Office? I don't know what ARC card means. Maybe if you can explain. I've never heard of ARC card in the UK, except maybe you mean BRP card. I don't think so. Even if your dependent is in the UK, I don't know how best to explain this thing, guys. Let's all take a deep breath and let's simplify it. Two things. Carers from abroad. You are just coming into the UK as a carer. From March 11, you cannot bring in dependents. Bam. That's the new law. That's option number 1. Option number 2. People that are already in the UK. So that one now, let's now divide it into 2. If you're already in the UK and you're a carer, then you can still bring in dependent. If you're already in the UK and you switch your visa before March 11, you can still be in the UK. But if you're already in the UK on another kind of visa that allows dependents and you want to switch to health and care visa from March 11, you will no longer be able to stay with your dependents, even though your dependents have been in the UK legally with you. I don't know if you understand. Let's not get it twisted, guys. Like, this thing is really, really simple and really, really clear. Though very harsh, I must say. But that is what the law is now. That is what the policy is now. That is how it is. If you want to switch to health and care visa and you are in the UK, okay, let me give you a life example. You are in the UK, you are a student. You came in with your partner, right? And then you're going to finish your course maybe September. And you know the new law now, students can no longer switch to care visa unless they pass their course. And maybe you're the one doing the care work as well. Your husband is not interested or your husband is not doing it. So if you finish your course by September, your only option will probably be to switch to a post-study work visa with your husband. Because by that September, if you not even now switch to care visa, they will still not allow your dependent to stay. Your dependent has to look for his own separate COS. Another option would then be that you people should not look for another kind of skilled worker visa that is not health and care. Then your family can all stay. Maybe if you get like a tech visa or you get like you're an accountant, you get any other kind of health and care visa, any other kind that is not health and care, then your partner can stay. If you're a nurse, your partner can stay. If you're a doctor, your partner can stay. But if it is care from March 11, even if you are here with your dependent, as long as you are not a carer before and you don't, even if you're a carer, as long as you don't have COS before, anything that is making you have that COS by March 11, your dependents cannot stay. I don't know if this is clear enough, but I'll keep going forward. Is it true that, please confirm, on UKVI website, the old policy says it affects, but the new policy says it won't affect? Please confirm from this blog. I need you are not clear with your question. Confirm what? Like, what am I confirming? So will the kids also get their own COS or what? Now, the kids will not get their own COS. I made a video on YouTube about kids. You can go and watch that one. I'm not going to say it on the live session. Your alternative, what you can do. But the kids will not, because they are kids now. They can't work. They can't get their own COS. The idea is that you take your kids back home, honestly. But I made some funny video on YouTube. I don't know. You can please go and check it out. And that's not an immigration advice. I have to put it out there, guys. Don't come and hold me for anything. I even said it. That was the first thing I said in the video. It is left for you to then, to then go and sort it out yourself. By yourself. It's left for you to go and sort it out. But the kids can't get their own COS. So the plan is that you're supposed to take your kids back home. Because there's no way kids can stay, unfortunately. How can I get COS before March? It's only fasting and prayer. I cannot lie to you. Because I know someone that has been waiting since December. Some November, they haven't gotten it. So those that will get March, COS before March, I'm sure it's fasting and prayer that will help them. Honestly speaking. So what happens to the dependents in the UK? The idea is that your dependent is supposed to leave or get their own COS. That's the honest truth. The idea is either you and your dependent go, or you and your dependent look for another kind of visa, because it will be like it's not only care that is existing now. You people should go and look for another kind of skilled worker visa. So there are other kind of skilled worker visa that you can switch to, though it's not easy. But if it is health and care, they will reject the visa application. So that's why I'm doing this live, so they don't reject your visa application. On this website, they said it won't affect those in the UK already. It is for what won't affect. Lilia Nbach, I'm seeing your message, but you're just saying it won't affect. What won't affect? Some things would not affect, some things will affect. That is why I'm here to say it live and direct, because sometimes when I reply chats, you guys might not get it, but now I'm saying it like live and direct to the best of my knowledge. You don't have to accept it anyways. This is just me saying it. So you need to be clear with the question. Please, if you have a care visa with 5 years and you and your partner is on the visa already, would the new affect? No! If you already have a care visa, you shouldn't even be worried at all. You're already settled. As long as they don't revoke your care home license, that is when you become, that's when there's a problem. But if you already have a 5 year, no, it won't affect you at all. We are talking about those that will affect it, those that are not on any health and care visa before. Those are the ones that would be affected. But if you have a visa, you're sorted. Just pray for the 5 years to come and then apply for your ILR. You're sorted. What if you and your dependents are here in the UK, but you want to switch? Can the dependent switch with you? That is it. This question, if your dependent is here in the UK and they want to switch, is two things. The first question I will ask is, what visa is your dependent on? If your dependent is on a student visa, the next question will be, when are you switching? If you are switching before March 11, they can switch with you. If you are switching after March 11, they cannot switch with you. Your dependent have to go and look for their own COS. And if you have children, maybe you might have to decide whether you want the children to stay or you want to take them back home. What happens if children are born after March 11? If the children are born after March 11, because even me, every time I think about it, like, are they even saying that people should not procreate? Because if you're saying you can't bring independent, that means you can't get married. Or if you finally get married, people should live here for 5 years and not give birth. Most likely, you will just leave your children in the UK. If they are born after March 11, you will leave them and ensure you're not taking them out. As long as you're not taking them out, I've already made a YouTube on appendix private life. It's like you can also go and Google it and read about it. As long as you're not taking them out, there'll be a time when you'll be able to apply for their own visa. Maybe when you are settled or when they are settled. So just please check that video out. I don't want to talk about children on this live session at all. The rule does not affect those in the UK looking for COS. So, okay, I've heard you. I won't say more than that. If you are in the UK looking for COS, it affects you until you find that COS. If you find the COS before March, then it does not affect you. If you are getting your COS after March, I can categorically tell you that you will not be able to, have a dependent. Please, if one gets COS from Nigeria before March, but is unable to come before March, can they still bring dependent? As long as it depends on when you get your visa. If your visa start date reads before March, I think you should still be able to come in with your dependent. But the best thing is for you to put in the application at once, like do everything at once. Then you guys can come in before the end. The visa validity is like 3 months now. You guys can come in before then. Do everything at all. What if the husband gets COS while both were already on a tier 4? Can the wife be dependent? Yes. As long as the husband gets the COS before March 11, once the wife is done with her studies, then the wife can be dependent. Absolutely, yes. Do they have PhD courses that are sponsored by the UK government? Yes, Chevening scholarship and some other kind of scholarship, they sponsor PhD as well. Yes, you can get scholarship. But most times with scholarship, you might have to go back home. But you just check the condition of the scholarship. If you're already in the UK with a care worker visa and you want to renew your visa with another employer but still in healthcare, does it affect you? No, it doesn't. That's a very good question. It doesn't at all. So if you're already in the UK, don't say because of the new rule you don't want to change your employer if they're maltreating you or anything. You can always go, you can always switch job. Even if you have dependent, they will also be able to switch with you. It has no impact. As long as you have any valid kind of COS before March 11, then nothing is going to happen to you. Either you are switching again to another employer, you will not be affected. My wife just applied for the visa. She applied with the care visa. She applied with the care visa. Can we come with her? Yeah, if she gets her visa before March 11, absolutely, you can come anytime. And you don't even have to come before March 11. You can come anytime you guys are settled enough. My wife and I are both on health and care, and it's due to expire June. But the company are renewing upon expiry. I hope it will not affect us. Beg your company to renew. No. It shouldn't affect you. It shouldn't. If they're as long as you're already on the health and care visa, you can renew. It won't affect those. It will see those that it will not affect. Those switching, those that are already on the visa that are switching or renewing, extending. Maybe you have 3 years and then you want to get 2 years. It won't affect you at all. Is teaching categorized as skilled worker visa? Yes, it's also a kind of skilled worker visa. But on the health and care visa, I want to bring my dependent. Will my dependent pay IHS fee? No, your dependent is also exempt for paying IHS fee. And if your dependent pay, they will definitely refund. You can always file for refund. They will give it back to you. Does the new health and care visa rule affect NHS staff? Someone told me NHS staffs are exempted. Please, how true? It affects everybody. NHS staff are not exempted though. As long as you're a carer, it affects everybody. Please, how much is PSW now? I don't know how much post-study work visa is, but the last I checked was around 2,000 per person. But you can double check again, exchange rates and everything. Can you explain more? How is it going to affect people in the UK? How is what going to affect the people in the UK? Guys, please, when you drop your question, I cannot really read your mind. So drop it in full so that I'll be able to understand. If I get my visa before March 11, can I still bring my dependent? Yes, you can. There is a mistake in my name on my BRP card. How can I change it? I think you need to just ring the Home Office. It depends on... You need to ring the Home Office. They'll be able to tell you what to do to change it. Can one still apply as dependent from Nigeria before March 11? You said a few days that before the due date. Yes, as long as the main applicant has their dependent before, has their visa rather. The main applicant has their visa before March 11. You can always apply anytime. You don't even have to apply as long as it's the main applicant. Once the main applicant is able to get the visa before March 11, guys, you can apply anytime. Can I bring my dependents in anytime since my visa is valid? It depends on what visa you're on. If you're in student visa, you have to bring them in before the expiration of your visa. If you're in a post-study work visa and you did not bring your dependents on that visa, then you can no longer bring them because the law is that you must first bring them on your student visa before they can come on your post-study work visa. And if you're on health and care visa, you can bring them anytime. I thought they said is March ending. There's no such thing as March ending. March 11, no. Nkemme is March 11. That person says very harsh. Well done. What of if both are with post-study work visa? If both are with post-study work visa, both have to go and look for another kind of visa to switch to. But one of them can still switch before March 11, then the other will be able to be a dependent. Does this new rule affect NHS? It affects any carer, whether you're with the NHS or not. It affects. What of nurses? Nurses can bring in dependent. Nurses are not affected. Nurses are not carers. They are nurses. I don't know if that makes sense. They are not affected. We will stop overseas carers from bringing in dependents. That was exactly how it was announced. We will stop overseas carers from bringing in dependents. So nurses are not categorized or classified as carers. If the dependent on your spouse COS and you have applied for a renewal but have to travel before the BRP come out, what are the alternatives? It's best for you to just wait for your BRP to come out. That's the only thing I can advise. It's simple. Get your visa. Get your dependent a visa. It may be easy for everyone. Amen. Oh. What about parties having different COS and have children? What will happen to them? Children, again, I've already made a video on this. What could be your alternative that you can do? I don't want to say it on this live session. If someone is a single mom and the kids are dependents, exactly, that's another children question, and I feel like that's the most important one. So it depends. You can just leave them or you take them back home. And if you leave them, you just know you can't take them out for a very long period of time before they regularize their stay, and before, or maybe until after you get your own stay and then you apply for them. So you have to think about it. You just have to think about it. What about nurses? What about teachers? Guys, I've already answered. They are all not affected. What about dental hygiene? No, guys. Only carers. Can doctors sponsor? Yes. How about carers already in the UK? So I've said it. Carers already in the UK. It depends clearly on what, on your situation. If you're a carer already in the UK and you have your care visa, like you're on sponsorship already, then it does not affect you. But if you're a carer and you don't have sponsorship, it will affect you. If we can't change to tier 2 before April, what will happen to children with crossover year? Will they have to go back? I mean, that's supposed to, it depends on you. You are the one to make that decision, but ordinarily they are meant to. If the dependent and my husband is the main applicant, if the dependent and my husband is the main, can I still bring my kids in after March? As long as you have dependents here, you can always bring your kids anytime. Can I add my dependent for post-study? They are in the UK. Yes, if they're in the UK already on your student visa, you can absolutely add them in your visa, guys. You can absolutely add them. Is it advisable for people to pay for COS at this time before March 11 with the hope that the COS will be out? I don't know about that one. No. What if the main applicant visa is not out by March 11? They might be caught up by the new rule. That's why everyone is running. Is it helter-skelter now? So apart from health and care and school, how can one relocate with dependents? Other kind of skilled worker visa, global talent visa is there as well. There are several kind of other visas that you can, focus on apart from health and care. I'm a student. I'll finish by April. January, February, March, April. Can my husband get the COS before March? And when? Yes, absolutely. Can my husband... Okay, let me read this question. I'm a student and I'll finish by April. Can my husband get the COS before March? And then I will join him after I'm done with school. We are both in the UK and we came through. Yes, absolutely. That's the most advisable thing to do. You can allow your husband to switch and then you join him once you're done. Because you will not be able to switch now as you're a student. They've already stopped students from, switching visas until they are done with their studies. What happens if you and your spouse do post-study work visa and you don't apply for the kids? Actually, this is just to buy us time. You're supposed to apply for your kids immediately as you're applying for your own visa. So that means their own visa expired. You've kind of made the kids overstayers. That's what that means. How many jobs can main applicant do? So you can only do the job you can only take a job with the company that sponsored you into the UK. And then I think it depends. Sometimes you can do 20 hours in a related field, like if it's a care tech sector, in that same sector you can do 20 hours, but you have to double check that to be sure. Does this affect Northern Ireland care visa? Northern Ireland is part of the UK, so anything that affects the UK affects Northern Ireland. It is only Ireland that is not Northern Ireland that will not be affected, because Ireland is a different country. But anything that affects England, affects Wales, affects Northern Ireland, affects Scotland. I don't work for the Home Office, so whoever is asking this question, either maliciously or not. But I'm happy to tell you that I have a legal background anyways. So does post-study work visa affect new dependents? I don't know what that means. The question is not clear, but let me just try and explain. If you're on a student visa, your dependents can join you on your student visa, and then when you want to do post-study visa as well, you can add your dependents. That's no problem. Does this affect construction COS visa? No, it does not. It's only just care, guys. It's only just care. If my wife is a student and she gets COS from her 20 hours job, am I covered under her course as a dependent? Guys, if your wife is a student, she will not even be able to switch. She will not even be able to switch until she's done with her studies. So, except if she's going to be done with her studies before March, then she can switch and then you can be covered under her. Can one still be a dependent on post-study work visa after? Yeah, guys, post-study is not affected at all. As long as you're a dependent on the main applicant student visa, you can always be a dependent on the post-study work visa. Like, post-study is not affected at all. I have my COS since December. Can I bring my child in around May and husband? See, sister, you can bring them anytime. You already have your COS. It is those that don't have it that this new rule will be related to. Okay, guys, I think I've answered lots of questions. So I just want to read like word for word the 5 things majorly that we need to note. So the first thing is that reforms to restrict care workers from bringing family members to the UK will come into effect on March 11. I beg your pardon. So that one is 1. March 11, no more dependents for carers. Then number 2, measures requiring care providers to register with Care Quality Commission if they are sponsoring migrants will start on the same day. So meaning before you get that job, be sure that they are CQC compliant, because if they are not, even if you get a job and they issue you sponsor, they won't even be able to issue you sponsorship. So you have to be sure that the kind of care company or care firms you're dealing with, they are CQC compliant. Then the next one is an increase to the minimum salary required for those arriving on a skilled worker visa from 26,200 to 38,700 will start from April 4. So guys, if you want to get another kind of skilled worker visa that is probably not on the shortage occupation list, maybe an accountant, a tech, if you want to get any kind of other skilled worker visa, now you have to earn £38,700. Any job that is less than £38,700, guys, you cannot get that. You cannot be sponsored on that visa. So you have to ensure that you're looking for high-paying jobs now, because that's the only way forward for you to secure sponsorship. Then this one affects people that are British. That's the last one. The minimum income threshold for those bringing dependents to the UK on family visa will increase in stages starting from April 11. From this date, workers will need to be earning at least £29,000 a year to bring a family member from abroad, up from 18,600. So it used to be 18,600. Now, if you're British or you have like a settled, stance, and you want to then marry or bring your dependents or bring your spouse, your partner from abroad, you have to earn 29,000. So guys, don't mix up the figures. If it's skilled workers, you have to earn 38. Some people said they've changed it. No. If it's skilled workers, you have to earn 38,700 to be able to get a tier 2 visa. Simple as ABC, as long as it's not health and care related. You have to earn 38,700. And if you want to bring in your partner, if you're a British citizen, you must be earning minimum of 29,000 per annum. So don't confuse it at all. Don't even mix it up. If you're on a skilled worker visa or you're looking towards getting a skilled worker visa, before the salary threshold was £26,000, but now they've increased it by almost 12,000 So you have to earn 38,700. It is well low. And also another update that you all need to remember is that IHS fee for those that are paying will increase by February 6th. Like, the only thing I can just say is whatever your migration plan is, don't procrastinate on it, because things keep changing. Things will continue to change. That's the hustle of an immigrant. It will continue to change till you finally have your PR, your permanent residency in any country you are going to. Things will continue to change. Look at now. Before today, or when I came into the UK, with 6 to 7 million naira, you're able to relocate, come in as a student, pay deposit of like £7,000 there. But today, deposit of 3K, even if you're paying £3,000 deposit, you're still looking at 8 million naira, 8 to 11 million naira to move. And that one is just paying tuition deposit of 3,000. When I came in, I paid tuition deposit of £7,000, and I didn't even spend up to 7 million naira. So things will continue to change. Please, guys, keep dropping your question. I have like 7 minutes more. Is it advisable for people to pay for COA? Hey, this person again. I've already answered. I said I really don't know why you are even paying for in the first place. So I don't know. But you can apply if you get it. I mean, it's hope. You can try your best. What happens? Can you clarify this? Okay, let me see. Students with 3 months to finish a course, switch. And also, when the start date will be after your course end. Is it on ukgov.uk? No, your start date will be on your offer letter. Your start date and your course end date will not be on gov.uk. It will be on your offer letter. So this is what happened. I'm speaking from my experience being a student before. Once you get your visa, is usually your course if your course is ending April, for example, May, June, July. Your visa will be valid for 3 months after the expiration of your course. So it's not like your course will end June and then your visa ends June. No. So at the point where your course is done, that course end date gone, and your school can issue you a letter to say that, look, you're done with your studies, then you can always switch your visa. As long as you did not fail any course, you passed all your modules, you're good to go, then you can switch your visa. Because now, to switch your visa in the United Kingdom, you must pass. If you don't pass, you have to go back home. You can't switch. You have to pass. You have to pass your course. So it is important that if you want to check your course start date, it's not on UKGov. Tame it up. It's on your offer letter. So check your offer letter. So if your student who is 3 months to finish a course, can they switch? You can switch as long as you're done with your course. You've written your final paper and your school has sort of like cleared you. It doesn't matter whether you still have enough time on your visa. As long as your school has given you the go ahead that you're done, you've passed all your modules, then you can switch. How many years to get ILR? So to get your ILR, it depends on the kind of visa you're on. For some visa category, it takes 3 years. I think that's Innovation Founders visa category. That one, if you bring money into the UK to invest in the economy, within 3 years, you will get your ILR. But it's huge amount of money that you have to bring in. So if you're on a skilled worker visa, any kind, that one takes 5 years. After 5 years on a work visa, you can get your ILR. And then the last one is 10 years residency route. Meaning if you have stayed in the UK legally for 10 years, then you can get your ILR. And this one applies to students. Some people will come in, they will do masters with placement. That's already 2 years. Then they will now do 2 years post-study work visa. That's 4 years. Then they will now apply for MBA again. That's 5 years. Then they will now do PhD again for 3 years. That's 8 years. Then they will now do post-study work visa on PhD. That's how many years? That's 10 years. So if you have that money and that strength and that energy, and some, when UK used to allow dependent, they will go to school and do their post-study. When they are done, the husband will go to school, do his own post-study. That's already how many years? 4 years. But now, student can no longer bring dependents. So it is well with everybody. So is the IHS new fee effective now? From 6th of February, guys. 6th of February. It's going to be effective from 6th of February. Does the minimum pay affect those that want to secure COS under care? Absolutely not. It does not. It does not in any way affect those that want to switch under care. My husband and I are on postgraduate visa already. We have to switch before the 11th of March. Yes, guys. Yes. If you want to go on the health and care visa, you have to switch before the 11th of March so that it's able to stay. But if you want to do any other kind of skilled worker visa, you can switch anytime. Will the new dependent rule apply to NHS Band 2 nursing assistant? Nursing assistant, I'm not sure. I'm only sure of carers because the exact words used were carers. So I'm not sure. If nursing assistants are not classified as carers, then I don't think it will affect them. Can my husband switch with my daughter to a COS and then I switch after? Yes, I want to believe if you're talking as a student, right? Absolutely, yes. Your husband can get his own COS. As long as, if it is before March 11, your daughter can move. That's if it's health and care. But if it's not health and care, if it's any other kind of COS, they can move anytime. And you can also switch thereafter once you're done with your study. What about the issue of people on, say, post-study work visa and they have dependents? Is the switching to care visa coming into effect now? Also from March 11, because it wasn't stated in the update yesterday. Yes, guys, it has been stated. There's an update. There's a fact sheet before the update that came out yesterday. So I'll put it in my Telegram group, or I'll put the fact sheets either in my Telegram group, or if you check my broadcast channel, I'll make sure I put it there. So in that fact sheet, it is clearly stated, guys, that if you're on any kind of visa that allows dependents and you're switching to health and care by March, you will no longer be able to stay with your dependents. Like, that is clear. So that fact sheet explained it before the new. What the update yesterday just did was to just put in dates. It wasn't really saying the exact thing, or it was just giving us dates of when the laws will take effect. They've already given us a fact sheet to explain the policy prior to yesterday. Can I bring my daughter with ILR? Absolutely. You're already settled. You should be able to. Just look into it. You should be able to bring your daughter. Please touch more on the newborn baby in the UK. Should the baby be added to the application when switching to Tier 2? Do you mean Tier 2 as per skilled worker visa, or you're referring to Tier 2 as per health and care visa? If it's the other one, and it also depends on when the baby is born anyways. But if it's this regular skilled worker visa, yes, your baby can be added. Absolutely. Can you save this live session? Okay, I will try and save it. Guys, I think I've covered everything. If care workers are beautiful like Katie, why are there so many single ladies searching? Number one, I'm not a care worker. Let's just take that back. I'm not a care worker. That's one. And then two, thank you for the compliment. And three, I don't think UK ladies are single. Because for one, I'm even married. I'm not single. So, next question. How can we join your Telegram group? There's just check my description box. There's a link there for you to join. So guys, I think I've answered every other question here is repetitive. If one secured a COS before April, can they bring in their dependent? It's not April, smart Yemo. It's March 11. Hey, it's not April. It's March 11. We all thought it was going to be April since they said spring. But yesterday they said March 11. They gave us dates now. It is March 11, guys. March, and March is January, February, March. In 6 weeks. 6 weeks. That's all you have to do whatever it is you want to do to switch. Guys, okay, quick question, please. What if someone's 2-year skilled visa is expiring in 2024, but the employer is willing to renew the person, but the person's annual salary is not up to 38K? You might have to speak to them. But I don't think it should even affect, they haven't said anything on this one, but I want to believe that it won't affect you that you're already here. It should be those that are then coming in after. So I think you should be fine, but they haven't said, they've not made any clear question as to that, which is a very valid question, because if I'm on a 3-year and my salary is not up to that, I should be able to switch. The employer should be able to renew it. But what I would then say is that if you can also speak to the employer now, like before the new rule comes into effect, if they can just, extend your stay once and for all and let that one settle it, it would be nice. My wife switching to a pharmacy COS after the day too. No. Your wife will not be affected because she's a pharmacist. This is strictly to carers, guys. Your wife would not be affected at all. What if I get COS already and can I still bring my dependent? Yes, absolutely. You can bring in your dependent. If you already have a valid COS, you can bring in your dependent. As long as you have a valid COS before March 11, you can bring in your dependent 2 years from now, 3 years, anytime before your own visa expire. You can always bring them in anytime. My partner is already here in the UK, but I won't be getting my visa till May. Can I still be allowed? Absolutely. As long as your partner... See, guys, as long as the main applicants have their visa before March 11, you're fine. But can I be on my wife's post-study before March 11? See, guys, post-study is not affected at all. You can be on your wife's post-study anytime. This is just for health and care visa only. So if your wife post-study, you can be on it anytime at all. There's nothing stopping you from being on your wife post-study work visa. Can I be able to do post-study with my family after March? Yes, guys, you can. You can do post-study work visa with you. You can apply for it. Yes, the salary threshold, does it affect the new carers in the UK? No. It does not affect carers at all. They maintain that for carers because obviously they know that it's a lot of carers don't earn that much as high as 30. Who is going to pay them? And can I still get COS after March? Yes, you can get COS after March. It's just that, if you get your COS after March, you will not be able to bring dependent. Fine jumper, Yeti. Thank you. It's for my husband. Thanks. So, will the 30th salary threshold affect current students in the UK who wish to get sponsorship in professional job? Yes, guys. As if you are getting the sponsorship after April 11, that's where April, they mentioned April, then you unfortunately have to earn 38,000 to be able, unless you're just getting the sponsorship in like other sector, like the health and care sector that was not included. You will have to, but if it's professional jobs, you most likely have to earn as high as 38,000. What if you have already applied to care skilled work visa, waiting for decision? Will it affect us by March 11? That's another question they haven't clarified. Because what if you've applied and I get your point, is totally valid, but I can't say yes or no. But what I would know, or what I would want to believe is, it is when your visa starts counting that ordinarily should matter. So if you've applied and you not get a decision until after March, you might not be able to bring dependent. But what you can then do is, if you apply for everybody all at once. So whenever they give you the decision, then you can still be able to argue that you've applied, you put in your application before the end of, before March. I had to want to stop a study work visa. No, we haven't heard anything about that, and by the grace of God, they will not stop it, because that's the main reason why students are coming here. I don't think they will. If they stop that one, in fact, even on my page, I won't tell anybody to come to the UK again, because why would they stop it? If I get my COS before or after March 11, am I entitled to bring my dependent? If you get your COS, getting COS is one thing. Putting in an application is another thing, guys. This is where we are confusing it. That you have your COS is one thing, but that you put in your application, guys, that's another thing. So it's not even, the material date is not the date your COS is issued. It's the date that you've applied and you've gotten the visa like this. Like they've given you that, congratulations, you now have, is it leave to remain or leave to enter the UK? One of them. It's until they've given you that permission to come in. That's what start counting. So it's not really when you get your COS, guys. Okay, guys, 45 minutes gone. I think I've answered majority of the question. What if I get construction COS after March? Construction workers are not affected. I've said that over and over again. They're not affected. They never mentioned anything like that. Every other kind of, COS are not affected. It is only care workers. Thank you guys for an amazing evening. Thank you all for tuning in. If you still, I think I tried as much as possible to answer every question. I mean, I've been talking for the past 45 minutes. So if you still feel like I didn't answer your question, I'll be more than happy to answer the question in the comment section. So just drop your, please guys, no DMs, because it's always hard to read a lot of, and I'm always like, I don't have strength, Joe. No DMs. Let's just put it in the comment section, and I'll rather like reply everybody there then, so that other people that have similar questions can see it. But if you come to my DM, I answer you. Somebody else will come with that same exact question, another person, and it will just be taking so much of my time, guys. Thank you all so much for an amazing evening. I hope I've been able to answer your question. And please, guys, this is just my own residual knowledge, nothing serious. You can still do your further research. If you need help, you can still ask for further clarification. If you want me to send you anything as to maybe where I got this information from, like the immigration fact sheet they release or the update they release or anything, please just put it in the comment section. I don't mind. I'm going to DM it to you, but you can still read more about it. I really wish everyone the best. Thank you all so much for joining, and stay blessed, guys. Bye.